Now, I was in New York this past week, and I did not stop at any bagel places.
Oh, okay. But did you see any rats?
Zero rats.
Zero rats. I think so between me and you, we're averaging half a rat the last 2 times we went to New York?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Now, if you want to stack up on top of that, I was also in New York over the summer as well and also saw zero rats. Are we looking at the last 12 months? Are we looking at a rolling calendar year? Because I could probably do August or whatever of last year.
Right, and I saw a couple of concerts. So
Right. And if we get the rat tally, we're barely at a quarter rat at this point.
I think we're at maybe a 16th of a rat.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a rat, but
now I will say this.
Yeah.
I would have been happy to see a rat because Todd.
What?
This is on me, right?
Oh, don't you hate it when it's on you?
It's on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what?
It'll be different next time.
Kids never seen the tree at Rockefeller Center.
Right.
It's New York. It's Christmas time. I've been to New York in the Christmas time, you know?
Yep.
Let me try to do the math here. 28 years ago, right?
Right.
You know?
New York's changed a little bit, but go ahead.
New York's changed a little bit, right? Todd, it was wall-to-wall people. It was nice out. It was like low 50s. There was no rain. There was no snow. There was nothing like that. It was like anything that was on like Broadway, 6th, 7th, anything like that.
Right.
It was a line just to get into the place.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was just crammed people upon people and nobody moving for anyone. And I was just like, we were walking in like a single file line where my kid was holding onto my bag and my wife was holding on to him. And the three of us were, and I was just the lead. And I was just plowing motherfuckers down. Right.
Sherpa Joe.
And my kid was saying, he's like, oh, if I was me, I'd be pushing people down too. I'm like, what the hell do you think I'm doing up here? Right.
Right.
Never again will I go to New York during this time. It was the worst.
Right.
But we had a good time. We did go into the Nintendo store twice.
Right.
We had
twice.
No, we didn't see them. Went to the Lego store, got something to eat at like a little off the beaten path Japanese Chinese hybrid place. It was called like DD Soup Dumpling and Hibachi place.
Right. Never heard of it, but
no. And again, it was just like, we're here. We just got out of whatever. I don't want to go to Cane's. I don't want to go to Applebee's. I don't want to go to Bubba Gump Shrimp Company. Let me see what comes up that's not a chain place in New York. And it was just like the first one that we saw. We're like, let's go. It was really good. Everybody got dumplings, and I got dumplings and fried rice, and it was really good.
Right. But go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just really sad that you didn't get a bagel. I'll have to give you the directions, because if you were like around 8th heading for where the tree is, you're not too far from it. So
we did have to stop and get Annie Ann's pretzels at an Annie Ann's Cinnabon combo.
Oh,
there.
Okay. I was gonna berate you for going to Annie Ann's when we have them around here, but if it was an Annie Ann's Cinnabon combo, then I'm okay.
I let them know. I showed them the picture.
Right. You know this guy.
That's
so
right.
Give me your best. Give me your, what is it? It's the patented recipe of undercooked dough and icing.
I'm just trying to think. And we drove in. We had a park far away. And I say far away, like usually, like we park like right on 30 Rockefeller's like area. Like this time we had to park like 3 blocks away, which is no big deal.
Right.
But it's just like, it was crazy, man. Like I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Then it's like, oh no, things will be fine. It'll be just like it was like when we went in the middle of August.
I don't know. I think it's, maybe it's a little more, but I was for Christmas in like 1991. That was the last time that I was there. And that was the one where I told you that the guys were banging the knives on the scaffolding. That was the last time that I was in New York for Christmas.
But I avoided all the traps. I didn't get a picture taken with a fake Elmo or a fake Bluey. I didn't get handed somebody's CD and then they charged me money for it.
Did I ever tell you about that on the way to New York Comic-Con?
No.
Okay, so me and the definitive Colonel Sanders artist are going to Comic-Con. This wasn't this year. It was 1 or 2 years ago, right? So we're walking, and the guy, like, we're talking, and then there's, like, a group of black guys out in front of the Javits Center are like, what's your name? And I was like, Todd. Like, I didn't know, like, I didn't see this coming. He didn't have, like, a CD in his hand. And he's like, Big Todd or Todd the Champ or whatever. And he starts writing on the CD, and he's like, well, that's $10. And I was like, get out of here. I'm not buying that. And I just start walking away. And he goes, hey, buddy, why don't you pick today to not be afraid of black people? And I turned around, right? And I was like, fuck you and fuck you, right? And Tom is reaching in his pocket to give somebody a 10 so they'll leave him alone. And then they ignored my fuck yous and descended on him, thinking they were all going to get a 10. And I just grabbed them. I'm like, let's get out of here. I'm like, all right, you got on a 10, but you're not giving any more. And then every time we go to the Javis, I'm like, don't give anybody money for CDs. He's like, shut up. But man, they had me hot on the don't be afraid of black people today.
Yeah, that's again, scare tactics are what they are, but there was a couple 2-3 times where the guys are there handing out their CDs and they're like, oh, hey man, what's your name? And you know what my name is, Todd?
What? Nope. I was in Mardi Gras. I was in, New Orleans for Mardi Gras one year, and we were walking around, and they were doing the, when you stop, like you're walking down a street and the light turns red, and that's when they got you. You know what I mean? So we knew where we were going, and I walk down the street and I get to the red light, and the guy thinks he's got me, and he hands me a hat. Well, I realize if I turn left and go across the street where I'm going, like I still have to walk towards the red. I'm like, oh, we could just cross here in my head. And, we have the green now. Why stand here and wait? And I just started walking with the guy's hat because I got the green.
Yeah.
And he fucking chased me across the street. He's like, you got to buy that. That's $20. Joe, I don't know if you've ever been to Mardi Gras, what's on the streets in Mardi Gras. I just threw it on the ground. I'm like, I don't want it. And walked away. And I was like, I'm not, none of you fucks are getting my money. None of you.
Good.
So gotta love those guys. They don't get me.
No, they don't.
So, but
I brought up bagels because you had said you had a recent bagel epiphany, discovery.
I've been bagel deficient lately. So all the way back to not this After Dark, maybe last After Dark, I didn't bring it up because we had various things coming up like that we had to discuss, like what we were doing for the next year's show on Patreon. I was like, all right, so I'm leaving stuff behind. Wednesday before Thanksgiving was the last day my bagel shop was open because it's moving.
Were they moving to? Closer or further?
Closer.
Perfect.
So what had happened was, you kind of know the area. Like they were at 81, the Dixon exit, not the mall one, but the main street. So they're moving there. They're moving down toward, like if they come towards my house on Main Street and then go maybe 4 blocks past me. So they're like, they're like like less than a quarter a mile from my house. But the fact is they had to move out because, not had to move out, but the place that they were in, the rumor is that it's getting sold and getting knocked down and made into a Wawa.
Oh, okay.
But there's no definitive news on that. But every time the lady, because I'm in tight with the lady who owns the bagel shop, she's like, I don't know. I keep asking them what they're doing. They bought the place, and they had people come at one point during the summer with the big core drillers, like in the parking lot, and they're drilling for core samples. And I'm like, there's only like 2 things that core samples, like they come and drill for. One is if you think you have mine subsidence underneath the thing. And the other one is if somebody's selling it, they have to get like, whatever, that is, there's no like lead in the ground, whatever. So I'm like, maybe they're probably selling the place. And she's like, yeah, that's what I heard. So I'm going to move down there. And it was supposed to be like the Wednesday, was their last day. And then Thursday on Thanksgiving, obviously they would be closed. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they would be closed. And the next weekend they would be open again. But that never happened because the construction work was slow. Never happened. This is the first time ever that construction people lied that, it would be done on a certain day. So they're just like, we got nothing coming in. I kind of like watched their Facebook page and they're hoping the middle of next week or maybe next weekend, but they're taking orders for Christmas bagel baskets, like, as gifts and stuff like that. But they're not selling bagels to like the general public,
like a normal over-the-counter sandwich. I'm coming in to get a bagel,
right? Or anything else because they also have a full menu. But so I'm basically thinking about calling up and being like, can I get a bagel basket without the basket and without the coffee and without the muffins? And you know what? Just give me a dozen bagels.
And freeze them or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I was offered that, like, when they were going, like, do you want us to give you, like, X amount? Like, you pick the number. I was like, oh, you'll only be down a week? That's kind of what they were thinking, or a week and a half. I was like, well, I'm going to go out and get, like, this is my time to shine. I'm going to go out and see the world. This is my bagel Rumspringa, if you will. Right? So I'm going to go out and I was like, it'll only be a week. And I would get like breakfast here, get breakfast there, get lunch here, get lunch there. And then now that it's like a week and a half, 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, I'm kind of like, I wish I did freeze some and had them like occasionally. But I think I can hold out. I'm not slapping my arm and, tying a elastic band around my arm yet. So just hook it to my veins, Joe.
So that sucks for them because, as you mentioned, they're doing these baskets and everything else like that. But to be closed during the holidays, and it's not like it's snowing that people aren't coming out. People are out. They're doing shopping. Right. They're traveling. They're whatever it is. And they're like in this weird nebulous in-between state. That's got to screw with their business for the holidays. That sucks.
Right. But I will give them, it's going to a big, they're having less of a parking lot, which I hate, but they're going to have a bigger shop, if you will. So that's really nice. I could see it as I drive by because the lights are on while they're working. It looks really nice inside. The only thing, it's next to my nemesis, Dunkin' Donuts. So like the traffic in the morning is crazy, and I'm waiting to see because they don't have much of a parking lot. How many people are going to park because they have all the signs up like Main Street Bagel parking only. Yeah, and I'm waiting to see how many people are like, oh, the parking lot's filled in Dunkin' Donuts. Let's park in here and walk over. You know what I mean? So
or people park in Dunkin' Donuts and walk over to your place.
That is true, but the one good thing is right behind it is Giant Food Market. So that has like you do have to walk a little hill. Like, I mean like 20 feet, but they have the full parking lot for Giant, which is where I'm just going to park and walk unless they give me my own spot behind the building, which I am going to ask for.
I was going to suggest that, and maybe a special lane for you to drive your car in that you don't have to like drive there with the rest of the rabble.
Right, the unwashed masses and shit. So, But yeah, we'll see. So when it comes back, I'll let you know. But I'm kind of like Bagelist now. I've had bagels other places and they've all sucked. The best bagel that I've had and it's all like chain stuff is the Panera Bread everything bagel. It's not great, but it's the best of 1,000 bad decisions. The Dunkin' Donuts one was one of the worst ones I got until I got the Sheets bagel. I was like toasted. I was like, do you want it toasted? Yes. Do you want it double toasted? Double toasted. Joe, it was soggy. I don't know if they're toasting it in a steamer, but it was real shitty. And then I saw the lady bring out the tub of Acme's like generic cream cheese spread. Yeah. And she put it on, and all right, I was like, okay, she took a big, like, knife full, so I'm okay with the amount that was on it. But she put it all in the middle of the bagel and none at the edges. So, like, as you bite into it, you're like, oh, there's, like, no cream cheese here. And then you get to the middle, and you're like, oh God. Like, it's more cream cheese than bagel at this point. It was bad ratio.
Far be it from me to say something positive about Wawa during non-gobbler time.
Right. They have a good bagel?
They do have a good bagel there.
Okay. Well, I'll give them a try.
Yeah, when they open up in the place where your old place was, and and obviously I don't think these days they sell just a bagel, but right. I know McDonald's has a delightful bagel sandwich, and obviously the bagel, you think cheese.
I was thinking of having the steak and egg bagel in your behalf.
It's delightful.
I'm going to see. That might be what I get tomorrow.
Yeah,
because you always talk about it. Now, does it come with cheese normally?
Yes.
Okay, so I might just get the cheese because that's not my thing, but we'll see. So I don't know. I may get the steak. And the other thing that I don't like is I did go in and get a McGriddle one morning from McDonald's, and I was mad because I was like, "Oh, give me the McGriddle combo," and I was like, I get the hash brown or whatever. I don't know if they give you hash browns or if they give you like little, like they're not one big hash brown.
It is McDonald's is the one big hash brown.
Okay, so. Oh no, it was Burger King. I went and I got the croissant. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
And I asked for orange juice. And I remember when they used to give you like a cup of orange juice, like soda. And now it's just the bottle.
Yeah.
And they were like, there's an upcharge for that. I was like, whatever, it's orange juice. And I was like, but I do love like fresh orange juice out of like a cold machine, if you mean, you know what I mean? Like in a cup. I was like, if I just wanted some like Minute Maid, I would have went and bought some Minute Maid,
I don't think the fast food places do that anymore.
No, they don't.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
And I remember when Burger King changed over from their more flaky croissants to the croissants that they have now, which is kind of like the mass market, like every, whatever has them, and people shit on fast food, and I get it. Listen, not healthy for you, but you can't beat a McDonald's breakfast. A bagel is a bagel. An English muffin is an English muffin. An egg is an egg. A piece of bacon is a piece of bacon. A piece of cheese is a piece of cheese. It's not like McDonald's is getting like special bagels from somewhere else, or they're getting magic eggs that nobody else has access to, right? Right. Now, granted, the grill might not be clean, but typically if you're there between like 6 and 8 in the morning when McDonald's first opened, like your shit's probably some of the first stuff that's getting cooked on that grill.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to worry about like grill leave-ins or grill scrapings from the night before.
Right. And I'm a big fan, like I said, of the McGriddle at McDonald's with the pancake sandwich.
Yeah, I've never had one. That just feels unnatural to me.
It's really good. It is sweet though. Like your teeth feel like crunchy when you're done. But I will say, and I'm not a big fast food guy anymore. Like I had McDonald's because I was in a hurry the other day, at night, and I felt I hated myself for having it, and the food hated me for eating it. And when I was done, I was like, this hamburger tastes like a chemical. I don't know if I'm getting older or like it had a chemical taste. And I'm like, I don't know. McDonald's is not a sponsor, by the way. Didn't know if it was like, are my taste buds getting old, or are the McDonald's hamburgers becoming shittier? But the only thing I will say is we didn't get the McRib, and I'm still pissed about it.
Yeah, we didn't get the McRib in our area either. We were not a participating market, whatever. And I have to ask, and we'll get off food because I have two other things I'd like to cover.
I have one more thing I want to bring up that's not food related and New York related, but go ahead.
Good. Were you at McDonald's, were you talking about the burgers, or were you talking about the quarter pounder burgers?
Oh, my order at Burger King or McDonald's is when I pull up, I get 2 McDoubles, a medium fry, and a drink. That's always my order.
Because the meat that's on the McDouble is different meat than what's on the quarter pounder.
Okay.
About a year or so ago, there was a whole advertising campaign of like the quarter pounder meat is now better than it was before.
Oh, good.
And it always makes me think, it's like, so you're admitting the meat that you'd been giving us for the last however many years has been shitty, one. And 2, you're drawing a line in the sand at your building of like, we have 2 patties. One that goes on like your regular single burgers, your double burgers, your Big Macs. That's one patty. which is a lesser quality, smaller patty, and then the quarter pounder or double quarter pounder patty, which is a larger, and now you're telling us it's a better quality meat patty. So why would I get the other one when you're telling me you already sell a better? Anyway, I definitely think that's what it was. It's the smaller McDouble single patty that might have a little extra. A little bit more of Ronald's magic on them. If you're
right. I asked them if it was beef, and they told me to think smaller and more legs.
So what's your New York thing? And I'll finish up.
So I have my first. I bought my first ticket for a 2024 concert for me this.
Ooh, okay.
And
is it AC/DC?
No, it is not.
All right.
But it's a young up-and-coming band called the Rolling Stones.
Oh, yes.
Which I guess is their retirement tour, along with since Trump was president and we have no more trees, the Stones are retiring. But either way, I'm going to see them at the Meadowlands in Jersey, where the Giants and Jets play. But me and Josh got tickets, and we're going to go in because there's like as we talk about traveling, there's a train station just before you get into the city that we're going to park at, and you can park there and you can get on the train. You can go into the city and come out like Penn Plaza or whatever and like go eat into the city and then come back to the train. Anything we buy, we can throw in the car. And then the train goes right out to the Meadowlands so that like you get to do it all without, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like let's move the car here and then move the car there. It's like this takes us in both directions. We just have to pay like twice to maybe like do double trip. I'm like, I don't care. We're here. We'll come in. I think it drops you right off at Madison Square Garden, according to what Scott said when we went to see Rage Against the Machine. But I was like, this is going to be great. Go in, eat. Like, you know, get there early, get something to eat, just do a little bit of New York, then go see the concert. Then when you come back to the train, you're already out. You're like a while outside of the Lincoln Tunnel. So you don't have that traffic. You know what I mean? And you don't have the Meadowlands traffic leaving. It's like, this will be great. So, and I've never seen the Stones. So I he was like, Josh was like, you want to go? He's like, I really want to go. I think I'm going like if nobody goes. I was like, put me down for a ticket. He's like, the tickets, like we don't know what the tickets are going to be. He goes, they go on sale. He had like a code to pre-order them. Like there was like I found this funny. There was an AARP pre-code.
Correct. I being an AARP member, I got that newsletter. Yes.
Right. So then there was another, I don't know where he was, whatever. He got the second one. And he's like, all right, so they go on sale at noon for like us with the code. He goes, and he went in for a lottery. And he was like, well, I'll let you know if I get the lottery. If I don't, then I don't know what we're doing. He's like, okay, I won the lottery, so I got a code. I got in. He goes, now they'll, you know, I could start the tickets at noon, like try to get the tickets. I'll call you like at 5 to 12. So I could like, he's like, do you care where we sit? I'm like, as long as we're in the stadium. Like, but I also don't want $1,500, you know, like up close tickets.
No, or up close or nosebleeds, like somewhere.
Right, yeah. Right. And I don't even care about the nosebleeds because I can hear you. You know what I mean? But
the further away you are from Mick Jagger, maybe the better.
Yes. So he goes, and I know like a lot of people don't believe in phone calls. I know you're one of them.
Unless it's an emergency.
Exactly. So he's like, we'll call because during this isn't going to be easy during text. So he's like, this is, you know, what we have available. And these are the prices. And I was like, ooh, that's steep. Do it. You know what I mean? You only live once. YOLO, baby.
Oh, my goodness. So the other thing that was going on in New York the day that we were there, it was also the Kiss farewell show at Madison Square Garden.
Did you go?
No.
I know.
So that just added everything on top of it, right?
Okay, maybe it's not the Rolling Stones tour. That's their last one. It's
no, it is
new album. I think
it is them advertising it's their farewell tour, but they've been advertising farewell tour since 1996.
I believe it.
Yes.
So, but I know that Kiss is its final one, and now Gene is going to franchise it. I'm pretty sure.
Well, at the end of the concert, apparently they played a video that they're making an announcement on New Year's Day or Eve about what the future holds for Kiss.
I'm telling you, you buy the franchise, you get the Northeast, you get the Southeast, you get the Northwest, the middle, and then like there's like Japan Kiss, like Thailand Kiss,
Mini
like,
Kiss.
Yeah. He's Zimbabwe Kiss. You know what I mean? Mozambique Kiss.
You want to pay a little bit extra? We'll get Peter Criss to come and like anoint the show or something.
Right. He'll like he'll like christen a ship kind of a deal.
Right.
With the champagne bottle. And if it's Ace, the bottle will be empty.
Oh boy. All right. Go ahead.
I was saying that's it on my concert. I'm just jacked to see the Stones for the first time.
That's cool. So we're not allowed to talk about weather on the shows anymore, but
right.
I had the pilot light go out on my furnace last week.
Oh no.
Now on the old furnace, because we got a new furnace maybe 3 years ago, and it's never been a problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, we got one that was brand new. The one that we had prior to that was one that was probably from the 70s. And I knew where everything was. The pilot light goes out. There's a box with a switch and a big red button on it. You can't miss it, right? It's like practically like a plunger. You hit that thing, you hear the click, 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 boom, and it turns on, right?
Click, click, boom.
So it's getting cold in the house. I'm like, what's going on? Let me go look for that red button. I'm like, oh, that's right. We have the new one. I don't know where the hell it is. I'm looking up like the model number and everything online. I call my brother who installed it, and he's like, oh, shit. He goes, all right, you have to do this and this and like stick your hand up this way and everything else like that. So I've got my phone on speakerphone with the camera on it, sticking it inside the furnace to look around for where it is so my brother can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're doing this because he's an Apple person and I'm an Android person. Oh. We're doing it through his kids' Messenger Kids account, right?
Oh, boy.
Okay. Like a bunch of idiots. So we finally get it. I trip the thing on. I'm like, perfect. I got it. I go, when April gets home, I'm going to show her where it is so that if this happens when I'm not home or whatever, she's up, whatever, I'm doing the show, I'm working, she could do it, right? So she gets home. And I go, I tell her what happened. I go, let's come downstairs. I'm going to show you where it is. So I'm getting down on the ground. I'm sticking, I'm like, okay, what you got to do is you have to like stick your hand here. You have to bend it around this way, right? And she's standing there looking at me. She's like, what are you doing?
Don't tell me she was on the other side. Like you just go on the other side.
Where she was standing and where my hand comes up on the outside of the furnace is a little hole. And you just stick your finger in that little hole and push the button from there.
Oh, my God. You sure are pretty, Joe. You sure are pretty.
I'm such an idiot. I love it. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, I wrapping up the show. Plug the Patreon show, patreon.com/longboxheroes. We just did December 93 for previewing the past. I thought it was a great show. I thought it was a fun show. It was a rare under 3 hour show. So maybe that's the carrot that dangles in front of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Todd, I'm looking around while I say this. Not only do I got a line to finish off 1996.
Shut up.
I might have a line on 97.
Stop it. I told you I didn't want to know. I want to get through the ones we have and feel rewarded that there are no more. Then you can crush me. Give me that 2 minutes of there are no previews in front of me. They're all behind me.
So here's what I will tell you. If I do get that windfall of the 96s and 97s, I will scan them.
I don't believe you.
All right.
Because when I asked you to go backwards,
there's a couple pages that I had to miss that you didn't get, right?
Right. Well, I remember when we were doing this, I was like, Joe, is there any way you could meet me backwards? And you told me to go fuck myself. I was like, could you start at the end of 95 and work your way back and we'll meet in the middle and it'll be nice? And you're like, good luck with that, Todd.
Well, I will say this. I had a different phone at the time. Mm-hmm. That definitely did not have the same capabilities that your current phone and my current phone has.
Aren't they nice for scanning now?
They certainly are.
Did you know you could copy and paste from a picture now? Like if it's got words, right? If you go to the pictures that I send you, if you download them on your phone, and you go to the previews and you're like, oh, I like this solicitation, you can press on that picture and you will get like that thing that you cut and paste like sentences like on X, on Facebook, on like a web page, whatever. Yes, I said X. You could do that with a picture now on the phones.
I didn't know that.
Now, I'm not going to say definitely on yours because I don't know what you have, but mine can. So.
Well, I assume it would just be whatever the scanning app that you have that does that in conjunction with whatever your phone is, but that's another story for another here or there. But again, I say, if I get the 96s and 97s, I'm scanning those. You're never even going to see them.
Okay.
All right? And then once I get that done, if you want to start talking, we'll talk about 95, splitting 95 up, the back half of 94, whatever it is, next time you and I cross paths, right?
Right. And I've been going like a cheetah with these right now. I've got like, I think 2 or 3 done since we last talked. So
gotcha. Awesome. All right. So look forward to that. At least another 4 years of previewing the past. And
I was going to retire, Joe. But if you're getting those previews, I guess I have to keep doing this show.
Maybe. I don't have them in hand.
We have 3 years on the movie thing, too. So
yes. So minimally 3 years, worst case scenario, 4 years, right?
Right. If I don't have a second kerfuffle, we should be good.
Oh, boy. Well, hey, everyone, thank you very much for listening. Sorry this is a day late for the Patreons, but, if you're not a Patreon, you don't even know. It's just right on Friday, right?
Right.
All right. Hey, everyone, thanks again for listening. We'll see y'all next week.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.